everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're doing well. Today we're going to look at some perfumes that I quite like to overspray in my collection. On the whole, I would say I am probably more inclined to spray more of my perfumes. It does depend on the fragrance though. There are some that I'm more cautious with and I wouldn't spray quite as much, but the ones we're going to look at today are perfumes that I quite like to overspray. So if it's your first time on my channel, then welcome. I create new perfume videos weekly here on YouTube. So if that's something you'd be interested in, then I would love it if you would click the subscribe button below and activate the notification bell as well so that you can be notified every time I post a video. And with that being said, it's time to get yourself comfortable, grab a wee drink if you would like to. Today I'm sipping on some water, kind of boring to be honest, but there you have it. So the first perfume I have in my collection that I quite like to overspray is actually my scent of the day today, and that is the beautiful Mon Guerlain from the house of Guerlain. This is a fragrance that actually I hadn't worn it in a wee while, so I decided to make it my scent of the day today, and I really noticed how comfortable I was spraying quite a lot of this one. Overall, I would say it's kind of a softer scent. It's still quite strong, it's not weak, but the mood of this is quite soft. So I do feel comfortable spraying more of this. It's the kind of fragrance that even if it was projecting quite a lot and people could smell it on me, I just can't really see it offending anyone. So that's maybe why I feel more comfortable spraying quite a lot of this one. It's quite a likeable fragrance. The mood of this is quite reserved, I find. It's very strong with that lavender note as well, complemented by the vanilla, but the lavender is really quite strong in here, giving it quite a refreshing, pleasant vibe, you know. I think this would be quite a nice fragrance to catch a whiff of on somebody else. So I do spray quite a lot of this one. I will spray my pulse points, I will spray the back of my neck, sometimes my hair, and I will finish off by kind of generally spraying it in front of me on my clothes. So yes, I do spray quite a lot of my Mon Guerlain. It's a fragrance I really like. I want to say that this lasts more or less all day. It doesn't project all day though. Like after maybe 4 or 5 hours, I would say it maybe sits a bit closer to the skin. So again, for all of those reasons, I do feel comfortable spraying quite a bit more of this, you know, more so than I would a stronger perfume, if that makes sense. So that is Mon Guerlain, a really beautiful classic in my collection, and I do like to overspray it. The next fragrance I have in my collection that I like to overspray is YSL's Black Opium. Now, again, I feel like this fragrance is actually quite strong, but it's not really super in your face, I wouldn't say. It is a fragrance I feel really comfortable spraying quite a lot of. Again, I would say I probably spray my pulse points first, the back of my neck, and I will spray it kind of just in the air and I will walk through it as well. So I do spray quite a lot of this one. It's the type of scent that I can't really get enough of. It's not a fragrance that I ever really tire of. So again, for that reason, I don't mind spraying a bit more of it. I wouldn't say that it's like a weak fragrance. I don't overspray it because it's weak. It's just because I really enjoy being able to smell this on myself. It's the kind of fragrance that I want others around me to be able to smell as well. So this is another one that I really like to overspray in my collection, and that's YSL Black Opium. Next up today we have this fragrance here from the house of Juicy Couture, and that is Glistening Amber in this really awesome bottle here, very dramatic and theatrical. Let me know in the comments if you love this bottle or if you don't like it so much. I think it's really fun actually, but this is one that I overspray a lot actually, and I find with most of the fragrances I've tried from Juicy Couture, in fact all of the ones I've tried from this house, I find them to be not so strong. So that's why I feel more comfortable spraying more of this one. It's not super potent. It's overall maybe a softer scent. It doesn't really project an awful lot. This one is really good for layering, I've found. I do quite like to layer this one with Alien, Black Opium, can't really remember what else. I think the main combination I found that I really liked was this with Black Opium. But anyway, this is a fragrance that it doesn't really project an awful lot. It does sit closer to the skin, so as a result I will spray this almost more like a body spray, believe it or not, just because it's really not that strong. I mean, the scent itself is quite a decadent, alluring, rich, deep scent because it's, you know, based around that kind of woody amber sort of fragrance, but the strength of the fragrance is not really all that strong. So that's why I spray a bit more of this one. Oh, so good. It almost gives me like Oud Bouquet vibes, but very pared back, you know. Almost somewhere between Oud Bouquet and Sweet Diamond Pink Pepper and Grand Soire. It's giving me those kind of vibes. But like I say, it's very soft, the scent. It's not all that strong, and as a result I do spray more of this, more like a body spray kind of application, and that is Glistening Amber from Juicy Couture. The next fragrance I have in my collection that I quite like to overspray is this beauty here, Lancome's La Nuit Trésor à la Folie. This is a gorgeous, unique, fruity, red berry and vanilla woody kind of fragrance with some floral nuances in there as well from the rose. I believe there's violet in here. It's a really beautiful, romantic fragrance. And it is on the softer side, especially if you compare it to the likes of the original La Nuit Trésor, which is really very strong in my opinion. This is a louder fragrance, whereas à la Folie, it's on the softer side, where the original is maybe an 11 out of 10 for projection and longevity. I would maybe say that à la Folie is sitting more around a 7 out of 10. So it's not weak, but it's definitely softer than the original. And for that reason, I feel comfortable spraying more of this. And also the scent itself is softer. It's not as sharp as the original. It's a bit more easygoing. It's a bit more versatile in my opinion. So it's the kind of fragrance that I really like to get wafts of throughout the day. I don't mind if it's projecting more. Do you know what I mean? Like if I've sprayed a bit more of it. So because this fragrance has more of a softer mood about it, I do feel more comfortable spraying more of it. This one's really very nice. I think it's discontinued now. It's not on the Lancôme website anymore, which is a shame. I always say that this one kind of reminds me of a Christmas market or Christmas baking with like mulled wine and things like that. So I really do like this one. And it is a fragrance that I spray more of. So again, similar to the application that I mentioned before, I will spray my pulse points, back of my neck and like all over my clothes and things like that, and sometimes in my hair as well. So this is another fragrance I really like to overspray in my collection, and that is La Nuit Trésor à la Folie from Lancôme. Next today we have this beauty here from the house of Mugler, and it is Alien the EDT. Absolutely gorgeous, this one, you guys. And I do overspray this, but not because it's weak, you know, it's definitely not a weak fragrance. This one can really hold its own. It's not really what I would consider to be a watered down version of Alien. It's really a beautiful fragrance in its own right, but it's a bit more easygoing, a bit more versatile, and for that reason I do feel comfortable spraying more of this. So I will do my usual overspraying application with this fragrance. Again, not because it's super weak, but just because it can take it, you know, it's the type of scent that I quite like getting wafts of on myself throughout the day. It's the type of fragrance that I would quite like other people around me to be able to smell, and just for all of those reasons really. For the strength of this fragrance, I would say it's maybe around a 7 out of 10 or something like that. But I certainly feel more comfortable overspraying this perfume more so than if I was to spray the EDP version of Alien. It's just a bit more easygoing, it's more lighthearted, it's more leaning towards the citruses rather than that warm base. It just has a lighter mood overall, more so than the EDP. The next fragrance I have today that I really like to overspray is Hypnotic Poison, the EDT from Dior. Now this fragrance is the newer formulation, I believe, so it's not as strong as as they used to be. So it's not really that strong a fragrance. I would give it maybe like a 6 out of 10 or something like that. So for that reason mainly, I will overspray this kind of like I would a body spray. It is a really gorgeous one actually. I would say when I first purchased it, I was quite disappointed by it because I was expecting it to be stronger. And, you know, the fact that it wasn't as strong as I was hoping, that clouded my judgment of the whole fragrance, and I was just super disappointed by it. But as time has gone on, I've grown to really love this fragrance, even though it's on the weaker side, you know? It is a really beautiful one. I actually want to spray a little bit of it. So you have your almond in here with your vanilla and the plum notes. It's quite an interesting woody, gourmand, slightly fruity but dry kind of fragrance, and quite creamy as well from the sandalwood with the vanilla. Wow, that really is stunning, you guys. It does have that kind of Play-Doh quality to it, which I really did not like at first, but now it's grown on me and I actually quite like that about it. But yeah, this is a perfume that I do go heavy with the sprays. I definitely overspray this one. And I found that actually, when I do overspray it, it lasts okay. So it lasts more or less all day. It doesn't really project all day. But I do find when I go in with a heavier application, it lasts more or less all day and I can kind of smell it on myself throughout the day, which is of course what we want from a fragrance. Oh, it's so good. So that is Hypnotic Poison, the EDT from Dior. I've just realised when I sprayed that, I think a lot of it went in my water. Nice. So the next fragrance in my collection that I do overspray is Mon Guerlain's Sparkling Bouquet. Now this one I wouldn't say is as strong as the original EDP, so mainly for that reason I will spray more of this. I do find that when I spray more it does last quite a nice length of time, more or less all day, you know, and there is definitely a fresher element to this fragrance from the pear note in here, so I feel like that aspect of this fragrance makes it kind of easier to spray more of, if that makes sense, because it has those lighter, fresher elements in there. It's quite a refreshing, uplifting fragrance overall, I would say, and it's a really nice one to catch whiffs of throughout the day. It's also a nice fragrance for others to smell on you, just because it's quite likeable, it's quite easygoing, it's not the kind of scent that's going to really offend anybody, I wouldn't say. So I do feel comfortable spraying more of this one. I do spray quite a lot of it actually. You might be able to see the dent in here. It does have quite a big dent. I mean, I don't wear this one very much, but when I do wear it I spray quite a lot, so that's kind of why the level is down to there, you know, but it's a really nice one. I'm quite looking forward to wearing this one more come the, well, I suppose we are into spring, but come the summer. This is a really beautiful kind of cooling, calming, uplifting, fresh, slightly fruity, floral, aromatic type of scent. Really perfect for the summer days, and I do like to spray a bit more of this one. The next fragrance I have in my collection that I really like to overspray is this one here from Juliet Has a Gun, Lipstick Fever. Now this is a really nice, easy reach, easygoing type of fragrance. Of course it has that makeup-y lipstick quality to it. You have your raspberry in here, your violet, your iris, I believe, with your woody notes as well. There might even be some rose in here. It is really a stunning one, just so pleasant, so versatile, so easy to just throw on anytime, whether that's going to work or a day off or just running to the shops. You know, it's one of those very easygoing fragrances. Just a super pleasant feminine fragrance. I do spray more of this one just because it's a softer scent. It's still quite strong. I would give it maybe a 6 or 7 out of 10 overall. It's strong, but it sits closer to the skin, so I do spray more of it, and it's just a really beautiful one. I almost feel like the mood of this fragrance is slightly more shy For some reason, it's just a softer fragrance, very gentle, you know. So again, if I was to spray even like too much and people were smelling it on me and stuff, it's not the kind of scent that would really offend anybody. It's just a very nice, soft, shy, polite type of fragrance. Just very pleasant, like I say, perfect for every day, all year round as well, really. So that is Lipstick Fever, a fragrance I really like from this house. I did pick up the bigger bottle actually, I think this is 100ml, and the level is down to about there. So I have worn quite a lot of this one. The atomizer is lovely with all of the Juliette Has a Gun fragrances, really, really beautiful atomizer with all of these. That's probably another reason why I get quite spray happy with this, just because it's such a pleasure to spray, you know? They're not all like that. Some fragrances have kind of not so great atomizers, but this certainly has a really beautiful atomizer. And I just really like it. So that is Lipstick Fever. Next up today we have Danger pour Femme from Rahsa Parfums, and this is a beautiful fragrance. It's primarily a woody, vanillic, floral, dry kind of scent, and it reminds me of luxurious suede. Now, the reason I like to overspray this one is, again, because it has that soft nature to it. It's not really sharp at all. It's just so well blended, so luxurious, and I feel like, you know, you can't really spray too much of it just because of how beautiful and sophisticated it smells. It's the kind of scent that wouldn't really seem too much even if I sprayed it a ton, because if people were smelling it on me, it would just be super nice. It's a super luxurious fragrance. It smells very, very sophisticated, very elegant and put together and elevated. And it's not punchy at all. It's not the kind of fragrance that would irritate you. It's not super potent or anything like that. It just has a nice kind of strength to it. Maybe a 7 or so out of 10. And on the whole, it probably sits slightly closer to the skin. It's not really an explosive fragrance or anything like that. So for those reasons, I do feel comfortable spraying more of this. I do spray quite a lot of this when I wear it actually. Just generally all over the back of my neck as usual. Again, it has a really beautiful atomizer, so it's just such a pleasure to use, you know. And that is Danger pour Femme from Rahsa Parfums, another perfume that I really like to overspray. Next we have this beauty here from the house of Mugler, Angel, the EDT. So again, it's the EDT that I have here. I like to overspray these two from the house, not so much the EDPs, you know, because they're really quite strong, those ones. But I do like to overspray this one, just generally all over my clothes, just like how I mentioned before, kind of because this fragrance is on the softer side. It lasts a really nice length of time, especially for it being an EDT, you know, and I would say that kind of goes for most of the Mugler EDTs in general. They all seem to have like quite a nice strength to them. Let me know what you think in the comments, but this one is certainly a very nice, strong perfume without being too much. It's strong, but it's still soft, very nice and diffused. It reminds me of powdered cocoa, hot chocolates, and it's just one that I really enjoy spraying quite a lot of. Such an uplifting fragrance. It's really, really comforting. It's kind of the perfumed version of, if you imagine like your cozy, fuzzy blanket, your hot chocolate with like marshmallows in it, and you're having like a movie day in bed. It's kind of the perfumed version of that day. Do you know what I mean? It's just super comfy, comforting, soothing, and all of those things. And it is a perfume that I spray more of. Like, I don't really think, to be fair, if I sprayed only a couple of sprays, I might not be able to smell it all day. So actually, I do think that it maybe needs that to a certain extent. I'm not quite sure, but I've always just sprayed quite a lot of this one. It's a perfume that I enjoy overspraying. And that was Angel EDT from the house of Mugler. And last up today, but by no means least, we have Tinyu de Soirée from the house of Gootal. And this is a really refined, elegant, sophisticated, put together, polished kind of fruity patchouli fragrance. I really like this one. It feels super elevated to me. It's kind of like if you imagine YSL Mon Paris, but more sophisticated and not as sweet, you know, more natural smelling and things like that with like better quality ingredients. That's just kind of how this smells to me. But this is a perfume that I quite like to overspray, kind of for the same sort of reasons as my Danger Pour Femme. You know, this one smells very, very high end and it's just super smooth. You know, it's got that nice well blended aspect to it. And it's not the kind of fragrance that's ever going to really bother anybody, I wouldn't say. It just smells very, very pleasant, very polished and put together. And I would maybe give it like a 7 out of 10 for the strength. It's definitely not shouting. It's not really a potent fragrance. So I do like to spray quite a lot of this one. So this is a perfume that I have noticed I like to overspray. It's a really good one. Let me know in the comments if you've tried it. It's super elegant and really, really polished. I just really like this fragrance. It makes me feel quite on the ball in some ways. It's very chic, you know, and the bottle is certainly really cute. And that one was Tinyu de Soirée from Gootal, a fragrance that I quite like to overspray. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments section below. Do you overspray your fragrances or do you spray with caution? Thanks again for watching. I really appreciate all of your love and support. Don't forget to give this video a wee like if you enjoyed it, share your thoughts down below, and subscribe for new perfume videos weekly. Thanks again for stopping by. Take care, you guys. Bye.